Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to, I don't even know what to call this video yet, but I'm basically going to be comparing a high-end product with a affordable product. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's like from the drugstore, it's just a product that is going to be like a dupe for a high-end product, which is at a more affordable price. And the product we're going to be duping today is the also very popular Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, which looks like this. And I'm pretty sure we have all heard about this palette already, especially here on my channel. I've talked about it plenty of times. And also I've reviewed it and I've done tutorials. Again, I did do a review and I think a tutorial, so I will link that down below in case you guys want to check it out and see all of that good stuff. But this palette retails for $65. Now, I felt like it was a perfect time to do this video now because obviously I just got the dupe, but this palette will be discontinued. I don't know why, because it's such a good palette, but it has been going around on Instagram and Twitter. I did see it on the Huda Beauty website and on her Snapchat that they will be discontinuing this palette. So let me show you up close and personal these colors. Look at how stunning they are. Like, you guys know, if you watched my review on this, that I love this palette. But there's a very good dupe for this palette. I personally saw this dupe and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. It looks exactly like my Huda Beauty palette. Like I said, this palette does retail for $65. It's still available on Sephora and on their website. I don't know when it will be discontinued exactly, but I know it will be discontinued. So this is what the packaging looks like. Obviously, right away, I will say the packaging, it's different. I would say the size is about the same on both palettes, but the packaging is different. This obviously has a clear, what is it called? Lid right here. It's clear, as you can see. And this one obviously doesn't. It has, it's black. It says Aphrodite Bad Habit 18 color eyeshadow collection, and it has black and gold, which you guys know I love black and gold. So I personally do love this packaging. I personally love this packaging as well. Now let me open it. It does have a mirror, which this palette does not, the Huda Beauty, but I personally don't care about mirrors and palettes. Like, I can give two rats if it has a mirror or if it doesn't. Having a mirror or not will not stop me from buying a palette if it doesn't have a mirror, honestly. I'm not the type of person to do my makeup with a mirror like this. I just can't. I have to have a mirror, like an actual mirror in front of me. So, like I said, if the palette has a mirror or doesn't really affect me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't do nothing for me. But I know a lot of people, get their panties in a bunch if a palette doesn't have a mirror. Like, oh my gosh, it's not worth it because it doesn't have a mirror. Like, girl, you have 20 other palettes with mirrors. Just use that one. That's it. Anyways, so it does have a mirror. And here is the palette. Let me show you guys. I mean, the colors look as stunning as they do in the Huda Beauty palette, and I will say the only difference I found is the color placement of the eyeshadows. Other than that, I feel like the eyeshadows are the same, the colors and stuff like that. So let me show it to you next to each other. Whoa, let's get this together. Do you guys see the colors? They look literally the same. So as you can see, the colors it has are the same. A lot of the colors are super similar. I would say some are like identical in the pan and when you swatch them. So I'm going to tell you guys how much this palette is right away because you guys need to know this. This palette is $10. 10. Yes, 10. Yes. $10. This palette is $65. you are going to save a total of more than half of what you pay on this one if you just buy this one. I tried out the colors on my eyes today. I mean, if you really look at my eyes, I don't think you can tell which of the palettes is the one I'm wearing on my eyes, because the look on both eyes looks identical. The colors look identical. Oh my gosh, look at that highlight though. I got distracted by the highlight. The colors, like I said, look identical on my eyes. You can't really tell a difference. On this side, I have the Aphrodite palette, and on this side, I have the Huda Beauty palette. So, yeah. Because for $10, this palette performs exactly the same as the Huda Beauty palette. No jokes, just being honest. This palette performs exactly the same. It has the same amount of fallout. It has the same amount of pigmentation. I actually like some of the eyeshadows in this palette a little bit more than the ones in this palette. I know. So I would 100% tell you to save your money and buy this palette if you have been wanting the Huda Beauty palette. It's definitely the most amazing dupe I have ever found for this palette, and I've looked. I mean, it's identical. The colors are identical. The pigmentation, the swatches. Some of the swatches are a little bit, you know, not exactly the same, but it's not even like the huge difference that you would be like able to tell. I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. I did, again, the Aphrodite palette on this side and the Huda Beauty palette on this side, and I will put both sides together so you guys can see as I'm doing both eyes, because obviously I didn't want to do them separately. I didn't do it at the same time because I wanted to use the same brushes so I can get the same look and I can do the same thing. I did clean my brushes off in my Varimona sponge thingy-mabob after I did one eye so that I can continue and do the other eye, and there would be no mixture of shadows from each palette. Hey guys, so starting off with the tutorial, I decided to include the names of each palette that I'm using on each eye, just so it can be easier to understand the tutorial and to understand what I'm doing on both. I did try to correlate them as best as I possibly could while I was editing. I've been trying to edit this video for over a week, and I am sick right now, so sorry for my disgusting voice, but I tried to correlate them as best as I possibly could. But it's mainly so you guys can get the gist of me and how I'm using each palette on each eye. And I use the colors that are dupes for each other from both palettes on each eye so I can get the same look. And at the end, the look ended up looking exactly the same on both eyes, so I'm happy about that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick tutorial. I did my face and the rest of my eyes off camera. Here's a side-by-side of both palettes. As you can see, the colors look very similar. The only difference with both palettes, the top one being the Huda Beauty palette and the bottom one being the Aphrodite palette, is the color placement. Now moving on to the swatches, I decided to do them row by row based on the Huda Beauty palette, and I started off with this one. So even though it looks like I'm getting the third row, I was getting the first row. The palette's just upside down, and then I just went and got the corresponding shades so that you can see the difference between the first chunk, which is Huda Beauty, and second chunk, the Aphrodite palette. And that's how I continue to do the rest of the swatches. Now, I do want to mention that although I do recommend the Aphrodite palette 100% because it is $10, you will be saving $55. I don't hate the Huda Beauty palette, and I do not like it anymore. It's actually one of my ride or die palettes. Since I bought it, that's a palette that I've continued to use over and over again. So I just wanted to mention that. I just wanted to
do this video for you guys and offer you guys like the knowledge of me finding a really good dupe in case you don't want to shell out the $65. And since it's being discontinued, don't think that you have to run out and buy the Huda Beauty palette, because this one's only $10 and it's just as good.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and give me a thumbs up if you like these type of videos so I can look for dupes for high-end products for you guys, cheaper dupes like this one, like amazing cheaper dupes. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, leave me a comment and let me know if you think that it's a really good dupe or it's not, or if you have the Huda Beauty palette and you would just rather stay with this palette, or you would like to buy the Aphrodite palette. And with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.